peasant laughs at the king. Anybody who reads the Bible is weak and just looking for a crutch to help deal with their problems. The king is unfazed by these comments. He expects the persecution from the peasant, but he continues to seek God nonetheless. He is a part of something bigger and greater than himself, and he hopes, he prays to help the peasant understand and see this for himself one day. Now, you are one of the characters in this story, but which one? On this channel, I help you realize that you are the king, and as such, it's time to kill the peasant mindset and be the king that you are. So today I want to talk to you about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is why you should read the Bible and how it will change your life. So I'm going to start with some very practical reasons that I believe can appeal to any audience. And the first is that this will help you flex the muscles of being a forever student. Around here in this family, we talk about how you want to always be learning. You always have something to learn. You are forever a student. You never have it all figured out. That's actually one of the most dangerous positions you could be in, is to feel like you have nothing else to learn. That is the very day that you will never make any progress again. And so if you want a challenge in that area, pick up the Bible. You'll never be able to understand all of it, and you'll get the reward of coming back to it day after day with something fresh and new to learn. And if you approach it with this spirit, you will be blessed because you will get to apply the lessons in your daily life, and you will see the fruits of that. So if you're somebody that is serious about your self-improvement and you want to adopt the mindset of the forever student, the Bible is really going to be a great source to help you do just that. Now, this is also amazing for those who believe that there is a higher power out there. There is something, they're just unsure of what that actually is. I encourage you to try to seek the Creator who you know is there through the Bible. I think you'll be surprised how much clarity you start to get, how much your life begins to come into focus, and how you start to receive the answers that you have been seeking for so long. It's something that you may have always heard about, especially if you live in the US or something like that, and you may have heard Christians or whoever say, oh yeah, the Bible, I know about that. But unless you have gone and tried to read it for yourself, by yourself, just you and God in communion, you might not have gotten all the answers that you were looking for. But I believe that if you pick it up and you start to turn its pages, that God will start to reveal himself to you, and you will start to get all of those answers you've been craving for years. Now, you'll also start to gain something that the peasant was actually alluding to at the beginning of this video. He was laughing and scoffing at the king because he said, oh, the king needs a crutch to deal with his problems. But you'll realize you actually do get help from the Lord. When you start to read the Bible and you start to understand who he is and how much he loves you, you'll have a newfound way to overcome trials that you never thought you could. And look, you've got to be man enough to admit the fact that you do need help. I need help all the time. I need help every single day. The main source of my help comes from the Lord, the one true King. And I know this, and I give him the glory and the credit day after day. And so I hope that you can admit to the fact that you also need help. We all do. Don't try to go this thing alone. And so you actually will start to receive this help from him. You'll understand that when you're weak, he is actually stronger. And that is because you are in a position where you will more completely lean on him. And when you're leaning on him, this is gonna be the best outcome for your life. And so this is gonna start to open the doors in your personal life, and you'll start to overcome challenges and tribulations that you never would have thought you could. And then as you continue in your journey, this is when it gets truly amazing. You'll start to understand that you are a part of something bigger. Bigger than yourself, bigger than you ever thought you were. You're part of a grand master plan, and there is a purpose for you. There's somewhere where you belong that you never knew you did before. It'll start to drive you, to push you to really improve yourself, because you're no longer doing it for yourself. You're doing it for those you love, and you'll be able to put the work in like you never have before. Belonging to God's kingdom and working every day to further his kingdom gives me so much inspiration. It gives me so much clarity on what I need to do, what the next steps I need to take, and it just gives me so much purpose because I know why I'm here and I know what I'm doing all of this for. And knowing your why is extremely strong. It comes from your spirit. It comes from inside. When that overflows into your daily life, you will become unstoppable. Now, As you read the Bible and you start to understand who God is and how much He loves you, and then you come into His kingdom and you come into the family, you will also start to exhibit the fruits of the Spirit in your life. They will be exhibited through you and you will be experiencing them. You will have a burning love for God and for people that you've never had before. You've experienced love for sure, but you will start to understand it and you will be able to practice it daily. You'll have a joy that only comes from an understanding an all-loving and all-just God. You will have peace. Isn't that beautiful? You will have a peace come over your mind. If it's been fogged, it will start to clear. You'll have clarity, even to rest on restful days. And take a second to relax. Your mind will stop being so anxious, running around all the time, and you'll be able to experience and exhibit a divine peace. You'll have patience in any situation. If that's something that you've been striving for and you understand that controlling your emotions is one of the best marks of a man, a lot of that comes from patience. And now you will have a divine level of patience. And that is going to really change your life. You'll exhibit kindness and generosity. When you see people, your heart will break for them. You want to empathize with people. You have so much empathy for those around you, for people in your life, for people you've never even met before. You'll get a burning desire to go and help. You'll start making YouTube videos because you want other people to experience exactly what you are. You'll have to shout the message out because you'll no longer be able to hold it back. You'll no longer be able to shove it under your bed and forget about it. You'll be so kind and generous, and you'll share this with everyone. And people will start to see this in you as well. They'll understand that something is different in you, that you've changed, and they will know how beautiful that is. And then you'll have the opportunity to tell them exactly why. You'll have faithfulness. You'll believe in what you can't see. You'll understand that in every circumstance there's a plan, and you'll start to be able to pull from this faith to execute and further the kingdom on the earth. And you'll have a gentleness about you. You won't have to shove things down people's throat. You'll have the exact way that you're supposed to deliver the message, and you will have self-control. This is another area that's going to help you with controlling your emotions and being the man that you were meant to be. You'll be able to control your emotions. You'll be able to think before you act. You'll stop being so abrasive. You'll stop being so brash, and you'll be able to think with a clear mind and move forward in any situation. Now, I truly believe that all of those are going to come into your life more and more and more as you read the Bible, as you read the very word of God. And so I encourage you to do so. But this is also the time where I need to stop and give a very important message. And that is that I'm sorry. I'm sorry if Christians or the church or other humans have hurt you. That breaks my heart. I'm sorry if they've turned you away from this and you want nothing to do with the Bible or God or whatever. But I implore you, I need you to go and seek this out for yourself. Don't let humans come in the way of your blessing. See, you could have been talking to a Christian who stopped reading the Bible the right way. And they started reading the Bible only to validate, searching for things that just bolster the points that they already believe. They stopped being a forever student, and they just read through their highlights and they see it the same way every single time. Don't let those people get in the way of what God has for you. So this is why I'm encouraging you. Don't take my word for it. Go and read it for yourself. Go and find what God has to say to you through the Bible. And I also want to make an important point that I still do believe church and fellowship with other brothers and sisters is very important. So you're not going this thing alone. But I also believe that we need to have our own personal relationship with Jesus. That the Bible also calls, and God also calls us to have our own relationship with Him. So that is what I'm encouraging you to do. And that is what I feel like is starting to be missed a lot in the church today. And I wish that we would encourage people to have their own relationship with God a lot more than we do. Now look, if I've convinced you to at least give this a try, then the next question you might be asking is, how do I even start? So I want to address that for you now as well. and tell you how to get going with this. So my suggestion for you, if you want to give this a shot for yourself, is to start with John and then move to James. John is going to take you through the life of Jesus Christ. You're going to start to see what true love looks like, what the gospel is, what the good news that you may have heard about is, and what the love of God truly means, and you'll see all of that exemplified through the life of Jesus. And then you'll move to James. And with James, you'll start to understand the wisdom of God. You'll understand how to receive that wisdom and how to use it in your life. And this will give you the practicality so that you can really start to see changes and you can start to see those fruits of the Spirit that I was discussing before. And I'm really excited for you when you read John and James, because you'll start to make these positive changes. You'll really start to level up and you will start to understand what this all means, why you're here, and your true purpose in life. So now that you know where to go, I want to address a concern that you may have. You might be a little intimidated to get started reading the Bible because you've heard how confusing it can be. Or you may have tried to read it for yourself before and you thought, no, this isn't for me, it's just too difficult to understand. Well, if that's you, I've got good news for you. That is an expected feeling and an expected thought. And there are a few different ways to tackle it. For one, this problem is tackled within the very scriptures themselves. In James, no less, 1:5, it says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." This means that the pressure to understand on your own is completely lifted. Go and ask God to help you understand what the Bible is trying to say, to understand what His heart was when He put those words on the page. You don't have to feel pressure or be scared or intimidated that you might be confused. God is there to help you understand this, and He wants you to come and ask Him about it. And that actually brings me to another point. When you don't understand something, that's actually one of the most beautiful things, because now you get to dive deeper. You get to meditate on that passage. You get to further your relationship with God when you're asking about it and you're in communion with Him, letting Him reveal His heart to you. And you get to build your community. You get to ask other Bible readers that you trust what their opinions are on the passage that you're confused on. And now you're bringing fellowship and community into your life, and you can learn and grow with others. And hey, if you're saying I don't have anybody, or even if you do but you just want somebody else to talk to you about it, hit me up. Go into my DMs on Instagram, LoganCope21. I'd love to talk about the Bible and any scriptures with you, and we can grow and learn together as well. That would seriously be such a blessing for me. And that brings me to another good reason that you shouldn't be afraid or intimidated to not understand the scriptures, and that is my personal story. I grew up with Christian parents, and they taught me the scriptures. I was really blessed to have that. We sat at the kitchen table every single morning, reading them, meditating on them, and trying to say what we thought they meant. And then I went off to college, and I made a commitment to read the Bible every day, but I wasn't as serious about it at that point. I would make sure I at least read a verse or something like that, and then here and there I would read longer passages. But then 6 years ago, in 2016, I made the commitment that I was going to read the Bible every day, and I was going to read it for understanding. I was going to read it to grow closer to God, and I was going to really take it seriously. So for the past 6 years, I have been reading the Bible very intentionally, deep diving every single day on my own with God. And I'll tell you what, there are things I don't understand every single day. So look, you're not alone. We'll never understand the breadth, the fullness of this. It's a living and breathing Word of God, and He uses it all the time to speak to us. And I get new interpretations that He gives me that I've never even thought of. They blow my mind all the time. And honestly, when I don't understand something, I love it. And you will learn to love it too. You'll be like, oh wait, I didn't get that. You'll start to pray on it. You'll start to meditate on it. And it's just going to open up a world of opportunity for you. So look, I challenge you to at least give this a shot. Keep an open mind and try it out for yourself. I really believe that this will change your life. And I hope you take me up on that challenge. So look, I'm excited for you. Don't just take my word for it. I encourage you to go and look into it for yourself. And if you got anything from the video, please hit the like button, join the family, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. Hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, link in the description. We can discuss these things together. And remember to put the work in. From there, leave it in the hands of the one true King. Stay kingly.